Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about Gigantix in the open field because as you guys may know, I have been vet farming a crap ton in South Kavaris, and well, the Crocodilus is the Gigantix that spawns there, and it's been ruining my farming sessions and making my life a living hell. But before we begin the video, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. Alright, so first things first, and that is I have raised this concern that I had with my Sega contacts, and I've been telling them, hey listen, you know, the Gigantix being level 64, they were level 59 for the first 8 hours when the server was originally released, and I felt like it was fine. You know, Gigantix level 59, it wasn't that bad of an experience because everyone was able to deal with the Gigantix and kill it in a timely manner, which was about 5 to 8 minutes, so the Gigantix fights weren't extremely long. While at the moment when they're level 64, it takes upwards to 15 to even up to 30 minutes in order to kill some of these Gigantix, especially the Crocodilus, because the Crocodilus has a very beefy amount of HP, and you need to be able to do the mechanics in order to get its down phase so that you can capitalize on that DPS. However, that is not really the case when you've got 32 players in a exploration zone. When he shoots out the bombs, I believe he only shoots out like 3 bombs anyway. A lot of the time the bombs go to waste, and on top of that there is the HP scaling based upon the number of players. So a Crocodilus with 32 players fighting it versus a Crocodilus in the purple trigger with 4 players is a very different experience. And that is why the boss fights take so long. And so after raising my concerns with my contacts in Sega, they suggested that I create 2 separate posts in order to gain traction so that the Sega developers can acknowledge this as an issue and make some changes. So the first call to action I have for you guys is of course coming to my Twitter and simply retweeting this post over here that I have with the hashtag NGS headline. This is the latest post that I have. All I ask for you guys is to retweet as well as like it, and that's all you need to do. Now feel free to follow me as well on Twitter if you want. I do retweet a lot of funny stuff like the Gigantix Rappy over here. This is very cute. Now, of course, I know a lot of you guys do not use Twitter because you just don't want to use Twitter, and that is perfectly fine. That is where the second post comes in, and that is, of course, the PSO2 New Genesis official Discord. I will leave the link in the description below. You're simply going to join this Discord server and go to the very bottom over here called Feedback, and there is General Feedback. Now, I have made a post over here talking about what I would like to see changed, as well as the reason and why, as well as additional reasons. All you guys need to do is click on the up arrow, and that's all you need to do. Now, of course, if you do disagree and you don't like my idea, feel free to downvote as well. It's really up to you. And as long as there's a lot of traction here, the devs will look into it. And that is my call to action. Now, I do feel like I need to explain what exactly my solution is, because of course, as you know, I do like to think of solutions instead of just saying, this is a problem, fix it, right? So what I'd like to see is, of course, the Gigantix level being lowered from level 64 down to level 59 in the open field. However, I still want to keep the Gigantix at level 64 in the purple triggers. The reason for this is because I would like to see an increased drop rate for rare loot in the purple triggers as you are consuming the triggers, and people know what they're signing up for when you run a purple trigger. You know that, hey, I'm signing up for endgame content because I'm going to be fighting 5 Gigantix in a row, so I'm expecting a challenge, and if there's a challenge, I do expect there to be good loot. So that is going to be the incentive for the hardcore players. Hey, if you don't want to hunt down Gigantix in the open field, that's perfectly fine. Go run your purple triggers. The Gigantix there are going to be level 64, just like how everything is right now. It's still going to be that enjoyable, difficult content for you guys. And the cherry on top of that is, of course, there's going to be better loot or more rare loot that drops from the purple triggers. Now, as for the average casual player, which doesn't want to run purple triggers, maybe they find purple triggers too difficult, they don't like that challenging content, you can still run Gigantix in the open field. They're going to be level 59, which means they're going to be a lot weaker. They don't have as much HP, they don't take as long, but you don't get that extra rare drop rate or loot percentage in order to farm for really rare gear, for example. And this way you have a balance of both sides. The casual players can still farm Gigantix in the open field if they want to, but it's going to be less efficient than the hardcore players who want to be super min-max and they want to be very efficient with their time. They want to make money as fast as possible. Then you run the purple triggers. And on top of all of this, it solves the main problem which I personally have, and that is I'm not even here for Gigantix farming. I'm here to farm veterans. And whenever there's a storm, a Gigantix spawns and ruins my entire experience. But by lowering the level of the Gigantix, they don't have that much HP, so it's worth killing them since it'll only take 5 to 8 minutes instead of what it currently takes, where it's like 15 to 30 minutes depending on people's gear because of the HP scaling. So hopefully after saying my piece you guys agree with me. However, if you do not agree with me, please let me know why in the comment section below. I'm very curious on hearing your perspective as well.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.
What can I say except you're welcome?